William, let me ask you this. This goes back to the first thing that we did today. It says graph the inequality 4 times x minus y is greater than or equal to 3x plus 2. Now, William, how many variables show up in this inequality? How many different variables? 2. So that means I'm going to have a linear inequality, right? Meaning that I need 2 number lines to graph it. Before we got here, we were just graphing everything on just one number line because there was one variable, right? Does that make sense? A coordinate grid is 2 number lines. It's one going this way, and it's one going this way, the x and the y. That's how I know what this graph's going to look like, because I have 2 different variables. I know it's going to have to be a coordinate line. Okay? Now, sometimes we have linear inequalities with only one variable, don't we? Like y is less than 4. And we have to graph the horizontal line. Okay? But that helps us. What should I do here first, William? Distribute. So that's going to give me 4x minus 4y is greater than or equal to 3x plus 2. Okay? What next? What do I do next, Drew?
Okay, next you subtract 4x.
Subtract 4x from both sides. And that's going to give me negative 4y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. Thank you, Drew. Robert, what next?
All right, now you're going to want to divide by -4.
Divide by -4 everything, right, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Robert, help me out here.
Now you have y is greater than 1/4.
Is it greater than?
No.
Why not?
Because you divided by negative.
I divided by negative, so now
So
it's
less than negative 1/4 x.
wait, is it negative 1/4?
No, positive 1/4.
Positive 1/4 x
Minus 1x.
minus a half. Okay. Now, Morgan, when I graph this, I know that my y-intercept's negative a half. Okay? That's okay. I'm going to put it right there. Okay? That's right at negative a half, don't you think? But then the slope is up 1 over 4. So I'm going to go up to positive half, not put anything, and then just count over 4. And now my other line's right, my other dot's right there. I can do that again, up 1 over 4, just to help me out. Should this line be solid, or should this line be dotted?
Solid.
Solid because it's equal to. Okay? I'm going to draw this as best I can.
Damn.
Now look, remember, it divides the y-axis into the big part and into the little part. Should I shade this graph, Eva, on the green side or the red side? The red side, because that's where the lesser y is. So I'm shading over here. That's it. We've done it. Okay, now listen, I didn't finish everything on the video today, but I will finish it up and post it. For the others, there's 3 more examples if you want to look at them before the test tomorrow. All right? Good job, guys. Okay, now I can keep on going here. Now listen, we're done with 5. We've got 6. 7 and 8 left to do. Okay? So we have 3 more to do. Here we go. Number 6 says, write an inequality whose graph is shown. Whenever I'm trying to write an inequality or an equation of a line, okay, I know I always want it in the form of y is equal to mx plus b. And also remember that the 2 things that I have to have are the slope and the y-intercept. And the easiest one to always get is the y-intercept. You just look to see where it crosses y, and it crosses y at 2. Okay? Now the slope, I'm looking for a point where the line goes through whole numbers. So here, I can't really use that one because it looks like the x is 1, but the y may be 1.5, I think. It looks like that one goes right through a nice point, which is 2, 1. Okay, that looks good. So my slope is down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2, back 2, up 1. Okay, so my slope is down 1 over 2. Okay? Now, let's put it into the equation form. I know it's going to be y. I know my slope is going to be negative 1/2. It's going to be x and the y-intercept is 2, so plus 2. Now the question is, what kind of inequality? Well, the line cuts the y-axis into two parts. It cuts it into this part up here, the red part, and it cuts it into the green part. But do you see it's the green part that's shaded? So that means that it has to be less than. Then I'm going to look at the line. Is the line solid or is it dotted? Well, since the line is dotted, I know it can't be equal to the line, so I have to leave it at just y is less than negative 1/2 x plus 2. That's it. Those things are easy, okay? So, I know that you're hoping you get a lot of those tomorrow on the test. We'll see. All right, let's look at number 7, okay? Number 7 says, graph the pair of inequalities, or it might say graph the system of inequalities, all right? Now, to do this, I'm going to want, hang on, let's see. I'm going to want that out here, okay? And let's see. We always want it in y equals mx plus b form to graph the boundary line. This is going to be my red line, and this is going to be my blue line, okay? Now, this one is already in y equals mx plus b. I'm just going to rewrite it. Y is less than or equal to 1 over 1x plus 1, okay? Now, the blue line is not in y equals mx plus b form. I need to flip the 2 and the negative x. I'm going to get y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. Then I need the slope to be written as a fraction, so y is greater than or equal to negative 1 over 1x plus 2. Okay, so let's graph the red one first. Y-intercept is 1, so I'll put a dot on the y-axis on 1. And the slope is positive 1 over 1, so I go up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. All right? Now, since it says equal to, that means this needs to be a dotted line. Let's see how well I can draw this. Not there, but there we go. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Well, I messed up there at the end. How about that? There we go. Good enough. It's solid, and it says y is less than. Well, let's think about this. The line cuts it into the blue part, and it cuts it into the green part. So I need to shade on the blue side of the line, okay? Well, let's do that. I'm going to shade down here for this line. So that's all the points that solve that inequality, okay? Now, let's graph this other one, the blue one. It says the y-intercept is 2, so I'll put a dot on 2. And that the slope is negative 1 over 1, so I go down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, so it looks like this. All right, now it can be solid, or it's supposed to be solid, right? Let me see if I can draw a relatively straight line. Pretty good. And remember, it cuts the y-axis into the big part up here and the small part down here, and it says y is greater than. So I want to shade on the blue side of the line, okay? So I'm shading on the blue side over here. Now, the solution set for the system is where they overlap. So that's this triangle right here, or this region. That's where they overlap. That's the solution set for that system of inequalities. All right? Good job. Only one left. One left. Let's look at the next one. All right, let's see. Write a system of inequalities whose solution set is shown by the shaded region of the graph. Okay, so that means we just need to write the inequality, the two inequalities for these lines, okay? I'm going to take this one first. I'll do it in red, okay? Remember, I need the slope and the y-intercept. All right, so the y-intercept is negative 2. The slope, it looks like it goes up 1, 2, and over 1, 2, 3. So the slope is positive 2/3. So the line should be y and then negative 2x, I'm sorry, no, and y and 2/3 x minus 2. Now, it looks like it's shaded below that line, and it's dotted. So we're just going to say less than. It can't be equal to it. Okay? So that's one of the inequalities. Okay? Let's look at this one now. We'll call that one the blue line. It's dotted also, so it won't be equal to either. Remember, I need slope, I need y-intercept. Okay, the first one obviously is the easiest, the y-intercept. That's going to be positive 3. But now the slope, looks like I go down 2 and over 1, and I'm back on the line. Down 2 and over 1. Okay, so the slope is negative 2 over 1. So I'm going to write y, and then negative 2 over 1x plus 3. Now, let's see. If this shading continued under that line, it would be this way. So do you see it shades on the smaller part of the y as opposed to the bigger part of the y? So that means that the blue side is also y is less than negative 2 over 1x plus 3. Okay, all right, I think you guys are ready. Some good stuff. Study hard. I'll see you tomorrow.